Frozen freaking hand, baby.
What's going
up?
on?
How are you? I just said that to you. How Jinx? You owe me $1 or Coke or something, right?
Yeah, Coke. I think it's a Coke.
It's a Coke.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm really liking this little facial hair we got going on today. What's up with that?
Yeah, when you're, manly, you do this.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. You look like $1 million. I mean, excited to have Caroline on today. Caroline freaking Mathias. That's always a good time. So,
well, I was touting her as the Alec Baldwin of the penalty box because he's hosted Saturday Night Live. But then I was listening to him this morning, and he's in a little bit of hot water. So I probably won't refer unless she's got one of those prop guns and is going to shoot at us. Right. Your mom's here. I love that.
My mom is here.
Hey, Mom.
She took a moment a few minutes ago to bash me a little on Facebook. I guess she ate at a customer of ours, Volo Pizza, there in Lynn, Mass, I think, and she name dropped me, and they're like, "We don't give a shit who that guy. We don't know who that is." So So my mom, of course, had to put that on Facebook, which is always fine and enjoyable.
Lynn, Massachusetts. I mean, you're not missing anything with Lynn, Massachusetts.
Yeah,
they have a saying about Lynn,
Yeah, Lynn, the city of sin.
You never come out the way you went in.
That's right. Yeah. Lucky me.
So I hear you are a little personal news. We can get right to it. You are moving this Friday.
Yeah.
To a new house. Congratulations.
Do we want to talk about that? This?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the show about sales and marketing. I don't, So good on two fellas, right? I don't know how they got my address and knew that I was moving and dropped this little bad boy in the mail. Two fellas. What does it say here? It says, "Don't be confused by the twos," right? Because there's all like two dudes in a truck and two guys in a truck and all that stuff. But you know what? Their website was really good. I jumped online and filled out some information. It processed back. That time is before you know it. It was actually I give them props. Like somebody called immediately, so like, "Hey, that's available." And then to even more to their credit, I booked them originally for next week. Well, we're closing early, so I called the guy. He's like, "Oh, it's gonna be tough, but we got you covered." I said, "Thank you, two fellas." Thank you, Chief.
Well, we were talking before the show that you're in the pizza business, and the days of buying your brother-in-laws and your friends pizza and beer to move your stuff is over.
Yeah, we ain't doing that stuff. I can't imagine. I just no, and I'm with my back and just I'm not doing it. So I've got a couple more shots on goal. What do you got? One? What do you want to do?
Well, yeah, so I mean, I've got I've got 3 of them. Do you want me to just run them down? I just don't want
to go back and forth, whatever you want.
All right, so I'm going to go right to the most fun one. Is I'm addicted to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. It is running in the background, and 2 things, right? These are my 2 takeaways, right? You've seen that guy on Facebook that does the whole crazy hot matrix thing, right?
Yeah.
So hot and crazy for sure, right?
It's like this,
and, right? And I've never seen someone commit career suicide like this guy is doing. He's right. I mean, he's going to win this. There's no doubt about it. But, now everyone knows the dirty little secrets about his addiction and it's all recorded. So, yeah, so we're having some fun listening to it in the background. I don't want it to end. We're on day 10. We're on day 10, and I wanted to keep going.
I think they're live streaming it on Instagram or
I'm watching it on YouTube. Yeah.
I mean, absolutely insane. Maybe that leads into something I wrote down. And this is probably the 52-year-old in me, right? Who the heck is Machine Gun Kelly, and why is this guy married to Megan Fox? I know he's a singer, or if anybody's watching, in Caroline,
singer, actor, I don't really.
Caroline will get on and be like, "I love Machine Gun Kelly." She'll probably call him MGK or something. I don't even know.
Right.
But I got nothing on him. Goodbye to the Brooklyn Nets. Get out of here. Got swept right out of town. Love that, because we talked about that last week, and I don't know who they're gonna be playing next round, but man, Jason Tatum is good. He is
he
good.
came of age right in front. We've all known from being in the Boston area that he's a top 10 in the league, anyways. But he
Right.
just came of age. I mean, he came of age. Did you watch the game like 2 games ago when Smart hit a fall away with his left hand? You
Yeah.
knew they were going to sweep now, and he comes off going like this, and it was
That became a
unbelievable.
meme all over like social media was this,
Right.
That's good
Well,
stuff.
speaking of social media, what is your take on Elon Musk and owning? Well, first of all, I want to be. Maybe I don't want to be, but wouldn't it be nice to go? I want that. I'll just whatever. What jacket do I have on? I will
Yeah.
buy that company. So
I'm glad you asked that question because that was one of the things I wrote down to talk about with you was a couple of things for me. I think $44 billion. Do you remember when it was $1 million was a lot of money, and we're
yeah,
44. Just I'm 52. Elon Musk is going to be 50 next month, and to think about like my brain functions on this level, right?
yeah,
His
right.
brain functions on this freaking like it, it's just mind-boggling. $44 billion. So that blows me away. I have a Twitter account. I hardly ever tweet. I used to love Twitter back in the day. You know what I go to Twitter for now? Instant news. If I think something's happened, I'll search it up. Like Facebook's down, everyone goes to Twitter. Is Facebook down? Yeah, Facebook's down. Right? Like so I don't know. Like from a social media network, I don't feel like I feel like Twitter is probably the least social of any of them, right?
Yeah,
And the other thing to me that I keep thinking about this is Elon Musk is going to have access to so much information, private information for us. Like that to me should be the scary part of all of this, not that he's paying 44 billion. It's just the fact that he's going to have access to all that information and take that as a private company, right?
right. Yeah, so I'm not that worried about that. I'm a little bit more conservative, and it'd be nice. It's nice to have a social media platform of one of the big ones that will be kind of, he's touting it as free speech. But do
Right.
you remember the guy that we had on? I'm sure you do. Brian Cristiano, when we had
Mhm.
him on, he posted something on his social. Shout out to Brian if he's watching. Back in 2017, where he in an interview said Twitter has the biggest upside. I can't wait for someone to buy it and take it private because of all the some company to buy it and take it private. So all of the good things that it can do. So we'll see. One last thing about this is his stock in Tesla went down. You
Tank.
know, and the reason and this is why I think he will win, because people don't think he can run a space company, a car company, a social media company. I think that he'll prove them all wrong.
I agree with that 100,000%. Do you have another? I've got one last shot on goal
Nope,
again.
that's all I had.
It was I saw in the news today, Anthony Fauci has declared the pandemic over in the United States. It's over.
Oh, 2 weeks, 2 weeks to hold off the spread or whatever it was.
God, do you remember? You think about that? 2 weeks to flatten the curve, right? And here we
Yes, right,
are.
right, right.
The only
Right.
curves that have been flattened in the pandemic were Caroline. So,
Nice segue. Nice segue.
speaking of which,
We
the
gotta bring
Alec
her on now.
Baldwin of well, maybe we'll call her the Steve Martin. No,
Martin.
Steve Martin of the Penalty Box Live. Wesley, why don't you bring Caroline on? There you go. Literally, the only curves that have been flattened during the pandemic are her chest. So
Hey, can you see
Oh,
me?
look at that.
look at that. Hey, those curves are looking really good. Those curves are looking really. I as I was thinking about you the last week, I want to kick this off with maybe a question. I'm sure you probably get it and hear it a lot, but is this the most comfortable you've ever been in your skin and your body?
Yes, definitely the most comfortable. Even I will say over the past couple months, I've let a lot of stuff go, and it feels really good. So
I thought that's exactly what I thought you'd say. So it's interesting. Is it like what drives that for you? Just like you're still in good shape, but it's not like as rigorous to maintain. Like, well, why is that?
I figured after I explanted that I would just go back to what I was doing before, because I was kind of on that train. You know, when you get so hyper fixated on something that you want it and you want it and you want it. And then once you actually get it, it's very like, it's weird. It's like so much time has passed and you've grown so much that when you do actually get that thing that you wanted so badly, it doesn't feel the same. And that is exactly what happened with working out, specifically weight training. And I just tried to go back here recently. I hired a trainer. I was working out 3 days a week, and it was literally sucking the life out of me. Like, I'd be like, oh God, I gotta go. I'm like, this is not how I viewed working out 3 years ago. I don't enjoy this anymore. I'm not liking it.
Hold on. Tim, are you pointing at your beard, Tim? I'm not even sure what you're.
No, I'm just pointing at the Peloton that's down in my basement that never gets ridden. Yeah. So
see? You have to enjoy what you're doing.
And I refuse to cancel the monthly because it has to be like I quit. So eventually I'm going to get back on it, so.
Well, isn't that kind of like life? Like enjoy, like we get so much focused on the destination, but it's really just the journey sometimes. And if you don't like that journey anymore, then don't do it. Go do something else that you enjoy doing. Right? Did she freeze?
I think, I think so.
Yeah, it's very, it's just basically, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, why are you doing it? And a lot of the times, not just with working out, I think all of us can get so into like just doing something every day that we really don't like. And then it puts us in a negative mood. And we don't even realize it until we sit down and say, what do I really want my days to look like? Do I enjoy waking up every morning and working out, or is it like the worst part of my day? If it's the worst part of your day, maybe don't do it. And I just feel like everybody feels like they need to be doing all of these things all of the time, and we don't. And that is where even just recently I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I don't say anything I'm doing. I want to do this my way. And I don't know, just enjoy my life. And if I'm not liking working out, I'm going to go do something else.
So in a community with Caroline, when women, because your core is women clientele, how do they appreciate your honesty that even someone who's training them doesn't want to train?
Yes, and I recently, like I said, when I was working out with the trainer, and it just felt very stale, like not me anymore. I had a couple of clients actually who know me pretty well. They said it just felt very forced. Like, I knew you were doing it. I knew you were trying to get back into it, but like we could feel that. We could feel that you felt like it was forced. And what's interesting to me, as this community grows, I'm growing. And if I'm stuck and I have myself right here and I'm not letting the growth happen because whatever reason I need to get stronger, whatever, I'm holding the entire community back. I have to live my truth. I have to do what feels right to me. And by doing that, that's how the entire community is going to evolve. If I don't evolve, they're going to stay right here with me. And that's not the point.
How many followers have you added on Instagram in the last year?
In the last year?
Mm-hmm.
8,000?
Yeah, 6, I was going to say. Yeah, I know. Like it's about 8,500 because I went back and looked the last time you were on. I'm like, nice. That's pretty good growth.
Yeah, I don't know what's normal. I don't know, like.
I don't know. I don't know what's normal. I don't think
you're right.
There is a normal. I think
Well, your podcast is pretty amazing. I listened to it, and what would you say that from a social standpoint, your podcast is the most fun for you?
So obviously my deep-rooted passion is my community, but the podcast is so intertwined with that. The whole reason I started the podcast was because I was doing live videos. I still do live videos every week in the community. As I was doing those, my client was like, you got to just do a podcast so that you have them like all in library format. And so, there's
hello.
Well,
Wesley, that's her Instagram. Leave that. Go back to the main because I have a question because I saw this the other day. Wes, pull her Instagram back up, please. And there's a post from yesterday, the day before. Where is it? Oh, this one right here, the middle one on the top.
The woman, yeah.
She is not getting this body from doing this workout, right? And here's my question. And I don't know who is this girl? Do we know who she is?
I found her on TikTok. She was popping up in my For You page, and I was getting triggered every effing time I saw her.
So
here's my like question. Like, what is her motivation to show that and to say this? Like, how does this lady win in doing? Like, I just don't get like how, like, what's her motivation if that's not how she's getting that body, and you've had a body like that, and you know the work that and the time, and like, what is her win in doing that?
First of all, I've gotten a massive amount of hate, which I knew would happen because this is the first time I've like officially kind of called someone out. And I don't even want to say called someone out because I never want to be rude or hateful. She has worked obviously very hard for that body and physique. Right. I know this because I've been in that space. So I'm not a random girl sitting at home, like trash talking her for looking great. I've been in this industry and I know the grueling, not normal schedule of work and training that she has done to look that ripped. You don't get legs like that without, a lot of the times, without performance enhancing drugs.
I beg to differ. Have you seen Wes's legs?
I mean, you're right. Wes is the exception to the rule. But I mean, it's could be genetics. It could be she's using supplements. Or she lives, that's her life. Like, her life is to work out. But when I say she doesn't work out like that, that's not how she's working out. You don't look like that by doing those types of workouts. And my issue with women like this, posting stuff like this, because I don't know, honestly, her motive. I scrolled through her TikTok, to be fair, like, let's see if she does some other stuff. Yeah, there's a couple videos of her squatting, but most of them are videos like that where she's holding a 5-pound dumbbell. And I'm like, you're not, a real woman is going to watch that and they're going to go, oh my God, I want to look like her. I'm going to do that workout that she's doing because she's doing it to show me. And they start doing that workout and they see no results. And then they're like, I don't understand. I'm such a fucking failure. Like, that is what makes me mad because I see it. I have clients come to me and say, I want to look like her, but I've been doing her workouts and it's not working. I'm like, well, no shit. She's eating, like, I don't know, like chicken and rice and egg whites. Like, to be real, she's probably not eating Doritos. When you have an 8-pack like that, like, she has no body fat.
Right.
You're not eating cheesecake and Doritos and what, you're just not. It's her life and that's fine. She looks amazing and I never want to knock that or take it away from another woman. But I just wish more women on social media she has like 4 million followers on TikTok. Just please be real.
She's
yes.
Okay.
So tell us about some of the hate. Tell us about some of the hate messages you got. Come on.
Oh, okay. Happily. Yeah, I knew. I called it out yesterday before I even got my first hate comment. And I said, I already know what you guys are going to say. You're going to say, oh, you're just jealous. You used to look like that. And now you don't. And you're just hating on her. And of course, I got a couple people that were like, well, are you sure she's not just like trying to help beginners by posting these workouts? It just seems maybe like you're hating on her a little bit. And I was like, real original. I'm hating. Missed the point of my post. I didn't say anything about her helping a beginner. Women don't go to this and like, oh, I just need a new workout to do. They want to look like these women that they see and they emulate what they do. How long have we been doing this? For years. You see something online, you want to do it, you hire that coach. I want to look like you, help me look like you. And they're not being truthful. Like, I for real just want her to do a whole video on, this is what I eat most days, every day, all of it. This is how I truthfully do a full training session myself.
Yep.
And it doesn't look like holding a 10-pound kettlebell or whatever. And my sleep, I get my hormones checked regularly. Those are the types of questions or things that I want to know, because that's it. So many things go into getting a physique like that. It isn't picking up a dumbbell and doing a HIIT workout. It won't get you that. And that's what frustrates me.
And the fallout is women coming to you saying, I want that. And you're like, well, that's not really realistic because you have, 3 kids, a full-time job, and like Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yes. And
Yes.
that again, like I don't know, so I don't want to speculate. I don't know if she has children. I don't know what her life is like, but most real women who are watching this, they have kids, they have a job, they have families, and legitimately not only just don't have the time to be in the gym 7 days a week, but they don't want to. They don't want that to be their lifestyle. And I think a deeper sector of this is, why do you really want to look like that? Because I instantly would look at her and be like, damn, I missed when my body looked like that. But you have to stop and say, do I miss what I was doing at the time? No. I would take the way I'm living right now a million times more. Like, am I fluffier and a little bit thicker now? Yes, but I'm happier with the way I'm living than the way I was living before. It just is like a no-brainer for me.
Wes is on the shake weight plan. He's been using one of those shake things and sculpting his legs. Speaking of food, can we talk about this infatuation with bride ice cream? Like, what does it taste like? I know you bought like 72 gallons of it. What does it taste like?
Bride's cake ice cream is hands down, coming from someone who's not an ice cream person, never have been, the best ice cream you will ever eat. And at Bluebell, if you're watching this, I need a fucking sponsorship at this point. Like, I don't know how many people have gone and bought that since I've posted about it.
Probably
a lot. It's almond flavored ice cream with cream cheese swirl, amaretto swirl, and white chocolate, or not chocolate, white cake pieces. It is on another level.
Where can you buy this, and can we go get it now?
Reese's,
I can buy it. You probably can't.
I've checked everywhere. Reese's is fully stocked everywhere.
Yeah, Tim, that's a grocery store chain down here in Oklahoma. So
yeah,
and Walmart. I think Walmart has it.
That's
Walmart.
interesting.
Well, we have a couple of those nearby.
Those are around. Let's talk book. I want to hear all the book. So, what were the results in your, like? Were you like sales of? Do you write a book to sell it, or do you write a book that you feel good about? You accomplished it and you did it. I'm curious from that standpoint. Number one, and then how were sales of the second book versus the first?
Great questions. I wrote initially in the beginning, because this was a long time ago when I wrote my first book, One More Bite. I was like, I want to be a bestseller. I want to go sell 10 million copies, and it just didn't happen like that. Yeah. Truthfully, for a book to go on like a bestseller list, there's just all of these things that would need to. I mean, I think you have to sell 175,000 copies. I don't remember. Don't quote me, but you have to sell like a certain amount of copies, and so you have to be pretty well known to get a book on the bestseller list. So my first book did really well. The second book did, I would say, about the same so far as the first one. We've sold quite a few copies. I'm so proud. I've kind of let that fall away of like, I didn't do as well as I wanted to with my book and focus on that. So instead now I'm like, you know what? I wrote 2 books. Like, I'm an author. What the fuck? I published 2 books all on my own. I didn't have anyone help me. And my second book, like, I love both of them for different reasons, but we use the book now for like everyone who signs up as a client, they automatically get a free copy. So we use it for that, and I pass them out and take them to places and share them. And I mean, we still like have sales.
Are you at Reese's? Yeah. Like, oh, here's my book.
I'm about to take
12 gallons of ice cream with you stacked up.
And just next time I go, I'm just going to take a stack and I'll stop by Barnes and Noble, and I have no shame. I will literally take a stack of my books and place them in Barnes and Noble, just random spots.
You know what you should do? You should get a couple of books, autograph them, and when you go to the frozen food section at Reese's, just leave a book.
That's a good idea.
Leave a book just right there. Replace a gallon with a book, That's what you should do. That'd be freaking funny right there.
I'm absolutely going to do that in honor of you. And I'm going to take a picture to show you that I did it.
You should tag Wes in it.
Yes.
Yeah. Wes would love that. I'm sorry. I'm getting a text message real quick. Sorry, Tim. You have a question, I'm sure.
No. It's all good.
Sorry.
So you finally finished your house. Tell me how that feels.
Finally. Well, the house is not officially like finished yet. We still have still have like some painting that's not done. It's a whole long story. We're on septic, so what ended up happening is it's very hard to plan, like, when is your house going to be done? You know how many people that falls under, like how many contractors have to show up on time, which never happens. So we were like begging for like an ETA, which is pretty impossible to give. And we had to have our septic company plan. They said, when do you want us to be out to move that septic tank? And we said, this day. And we tried to estimate it and we couldn't change it once we booked it. She's like, if you adjust this, it's going to be another 8 weeks. So we were like, shit. So the day they showed up to move the septic tank, like we had no choice. We had to move from the mobile home to the house. So it just wasn't done. It's pretty close to being done, but to be honest, like it's been a process. If you've ever built a house, it's just a process. This is our third time building.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting and it's frustrating. And it's very similar to the way I described, like, you want this thing, you want it so bad. All you do is talk about it and live it for so long. And then when you get it, it's very like, it doesn't feel like you thought it would because of the process it took to get there. That was kind of how it was. And it's taken a while to settle in for me.
You were just like breaking ground and living in a trailer the first time we had you on the show. Which was really amazing. I've seen pictures of the concrete lagoon in the backyard. So that must be a lot of fun too.
We are very excited. The pool got done like right when we moved in, but it's just started getting cold. So we only got to swim in the pool, like I would say probably 5 times. So we have been staring at the pool all winter and I'm like, I can't wait to finally like be outside, like grilling and swimming and utilizing the backyard area because it's so pretty.
One of my things about your house I was curious about because I wrote it down. It's black.
Yeah.
And that's somewhat.
Did you expect anything else?
No, but that's somewhat a popular trend, right? Is that like you're seeing it more and more. Like what made you say I want my freaking house to be black?
Well, first of all, my soul is black, so everything I own is black. Like, I mean, it just has to go.
All right, thank you.
But no, like I swear I'm not saying we've created like a trend, but when we did the white barn house, no one was doing white barn houses at the time. And as soon as we moved in, I swear all I saw were white barn style homes. Well, now we decided to do like an all black house, which I've seen all black houses before. It's not like we were the very first, but I didn't really see any around. And now I'm seeing black houses everywhere. I'm like, oh my God, there's an all black house, which I think is great. But we were gonna leave like one section white, so it was gonna be like black and then the middle section was gonna be white and then black, and I said no, I want it just to be like all black. And he was like, are you sure? Yeah, I think it's gonna look really, really cool. I love it.
That's funny.
What about the giraffe out front? I saw it was kind of windy a couple of weeks ago, and you were afraid that it was going to fly away.
That giraffe, like I'm scared every single time the wind blows. It is locked in pretty good, and we've had to retie it multiple places. But I mean, because with the wind we get here, I mean, it blew over one of our shelters and like destroyed it the other day. One of our big animal shelters. The wind blew it over, and it's like in pieces now. But yeah, the giraffe. It's funny when we have deliveries, like an Uber driver or anyone pulls up, they're like, what is that? Like, why do you have a big giraffe out in the front of your house? And
you have giraffe babies now, right?
Camel babies.
Oh, camel babies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Camel babies. I'm trying to keep my husband away from the thought of buying and like actually purchasing a giraffe, like, because that's something he wants. And I'm like, no, stick with the camels.
Like giraffe.com?
I don't even know.
I mean, Caroline, let's be honest. Does he say no to you at all ever? I mean, because I don't see it. Yeah. So give the guy a giraffe, would you?
I think that's why he never says no to me. Because then when he's like, hey, I think I want to purchase a giraffe. Like, you can't tell me no. I tell you yes to everything. Yeah, he really doesn't ever tell me no. But I mean,
not that it would matter, right?
No, not really.
Yeah.
But I mean, we do have close to like 12 or 13 camels now. So that's a lot. Yes. I think we have the most. I think we have the largest camel herd in Oklahoma. I could be wrong, but I think we do. I don't think there's another person that has 12.
What's the end game? What's the end game for having that many camels, a herd of camels? What do they do for you?
Tim, it's actually called a pack of camels.
A pack. Okay, a pack. Okay.
Pack of camels. Well, so we use them, we breed them, and then sell the babies, and basically that pays for us to run the farm, the rest of the farm. So it pays for all the medical bills, the medication, hay, feed, all of that stuff. So that's basically like the purpose of having the pack of camels. It's lucrative, and that's how we pay for everything.
Do you have? Is there a website like campbellbaby.com or something like that?
Actually, I'm sure there is. We have our farm page, which is HQ Ranch, and so if people want to follow along, like that's my husband basically runs that page, and he posts pictures of basically just our animals, and so they can go there and look at everything that we have on there.
Knowing you were coming on and knowing the way you are about women and their bodies and the way they look, I screenshot this the other day and I wanted to ask you about it. Oh, there we go. Campbellbaby.com. It's available. It's available for $4,500.
I need to tell Josh.
$4,600. It's available. What's your take on this? Can you see this?
I saw that the other day.
The Muppet Show predicted what most women would look like in 2022 back in 1975. What's your thoughts on that?
So my thoughts are that it's pretty accurate, which is why it's so funny. I don't know if it's because I'm an Enneagram 4, but I disdain any sort of I want to be my own person, and individuality is like the most important thing to me ever. So I want everyone to tap into who they really want to be, whether that's through their looks or through how they act or whatever. But I feel like there are a lot of people these days, women, that they get the lip injections, which again, there's no judgment on this at all. I've got lip injections before and I hated it on me. I don't think it looked great. I get my eyelashes done. I feel like it makes me look more feminine. I have my own things that I do for upkeep, but I think we've taken it a little bit too far. And I think women don't realize how beautiful they are without all of that stuff. Now, again, I get Botox, I get my lashes done, but I think we've taken it just one step too far of trying I want to look like this person, or I want to look like this person. And, the whole lip thing is something I tried it and I didn't like it. It was very, very painful. And then I'm like, why as women do we do these things to ourselves? The procedures, if you guys went and got your lips injected, it is so fucking painful. They bring out a needle this big, and it's like an epidural needle, and they jam it in your lip. It hurts so bad. I remember being like, how do women do this? It's terrible.
Well, I was talking to some buddies the other day about this and about those eyelashes. I don't have a single buddy that says, oh my God, I want her eyelashes to be so big when she blinks, I get a breeze.
Right.
I say that here's the other side of my mouth. If that makes you as a woman feel really beautiful, then I'm all for doing it. But I don't know if they, maybe it is, maybe you can answer this question. Do women do more of that aesthetically stuff for men, or do they do it more so other women see them and they're like, oh, she looks good? They do it for other women to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think, we do get caught up in that. I mean, and I can only speak for myself, but I think I know a lot of other women would say the same thing. We want to look good for other women, which I don't know why that is. Because men ultimately, and I don't want to generalize and say all men, but for the most part, men don't give a shit if you have cellulite. Men genuinely do not. I know there's some that do, but for the most part, men don't care about the things that we obsess with about our bodies. They don't care. They're fine with us the way we are.
True.
Absolutely.
So, I mean,
Absolutely.
I don't know if anybody realized when they came on, but Wes actually has eyelashes on today. So,
Hey, I saw your latest Freddy tattoo, which was pretty wild on your leg.
my leg.
Yeah. Do we have a picture of that anywhere, Wes, that we could bring up? And I just wanted to find out what's going on what's going on the other leg.
Okay, so I'm glad you asked that actually. In my head, I was like, okay, well, because every time I get a tattoo, it's so incredibly masochistically painful that I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why do I sign up for stuff like this? But I want the end result, but it's awful. Like the process, it hurts so bad. And so I last time I finished Freddy, I was like, I think I'm done. And Josh was like, yeah, right. I'm like, no, I really don't know. I'm getting older. Like, I don't know if I can handle that pain anymore. I might be done. Well, so when Taylor Hawkins died, oh, okay, so you do have a picture. I was going to show you. Yeah, that was
That is
right
wild.
after it was done. I have here. Can I stand up and show you?
Show us
Yes.
anything you want.
Because it's healed now and it looks different. Let me make sure my shorts are pulled down on that.
While you're standing up, Wes is always, Wes and I have requested the whole booty thing where you show us how to pop the booty out because that's
I can do that.
something we have to see. But continue. Look at that.
So there's Freddy now.
Crazy.
Wow.
And
so all the Instagram ladies of the world need to know how to pop that booty out, and you show us the secrets. And
okay, so I'll go ahead and show the secret to the booty pop because I feel like this needs to just be what we do every single time. Right?
Here we go. See it.
So most women think they just turn around and they're like this, and then it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. So the trick is you have to like lock the first leg out, and then you pull your back leg and tilt it back, and then kind of. That's not my good side. This is how I normally do it.
Yeah, you're right. That is what's the difference between that side and the other side?
That's like the way I always do it. So when I tried to show you the other way, I'm like, wait, I don't normally use it that.
That's fucking awesome. There's a comment right there. Awesome. Yeah, if you have Caroline on the show, we have this conversation every time she's on. Is that how that works? Like how. Because it is, I see that stuff. I see all your social. I look at all your stuff, right? And I love when you do that, or the stomach, or this is real and this isn't real, and it's. So I love social media, right? I think
I do too.
You can find what you're looking for on social media. If you want positive, uplifting, good content, you can go find that. You want negative and all sorts, you'll find that too. But it's so hard. We're going to say this every generation will say it's harder and harder to be a kid, right? It's harder and harder to be a mom. It's harder to do everything probably in some respects because now we see so much in our face that's constantly changing. I'm a little older than you are, Caroline, but back in the day, it was probably, you looked at Cosmo magazine or you looked at Teen Beat mag or Heartbeat mag, whatever.
Yeah.
And you literally read one magazine for a month, and so now it's just constantly changing. And kids live in a strange time. My daughter yesterday, this is kind of the same, but not. My daughter yesterday was so stressed out the night before that they had state testing at school yesterday. And she was just so losing her mind over it. And finally I said, will you stop? She's like, but Dad, this is a big deal. I said, this isn't a judgment on you. This is a judgment on your teachers in your school. You could go in and bomb and this has no bearing on your life and your grades.
Yeah.
You just stop. And when I told that to her, she's like, what? They put so much pressure on them to do well that day. And I'm like, sis, this is, she said, well, I have to eat a really good breakfast. I said, well, do they not want you to eat a really good breakfast every day?
Right. Yeah. What's the difference in today?
Because it's selfish and it's self-serving. And that stuff just gets harder and harder, I think, for all of us, even for Wes, as we get older, it's harder to figure it out because we see this and I know I can tell when Caroline Mathias is triggered, how you can tell what it is? It's Instagram and it's 1,000 little dots across the top.
Holy shit.
That's
I posted I posted a reel with my golden retriever, and it was like one video, and that was it. And I'm like, Caroline would never stand for this.
Caroline's that see Caroline, see right over her shoulder where it says Caroline, and it's got the like da. See all those dots right there? That's her Instagram storylines right there. That's what that is right there. No doubt.
It's true.
It's
true.
true.
You know, when I have a lot to say, that little Instagram story is going to be never ending.
I love it. You truly are one of the few people when I see a lot of dots, I'm like, oh shit, what is going on today? I'm going to look you up right now because let's just see. I'm curious.
What's on there for today.
Yeah, let's
watch them all.
How many dots we've got today?
I'm going to guess. I think
how many
10.
Do you have?
10 or 11.
11.
See
the lines there. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, see the lines across here are the different stories. And there are literally days you can only be like 100 of them. I'm like, oh, somebody's pissed off about something today. Yeah, there it is. So we got 10 or 11 up there, I think. So
there's Willie.
That's
playing basketball.
That's good stuff.
Someone made that for me.
Tell us about the deep freeze.
Oh, so cryo is like my new thing. I've been doing it for a few weeks. I'm obsessed with it. It is so invigorating. It's really good for like joints, muscle repair, immune system. Like there's just, I mean, they say even weight loss, but I'm not really like doing it for weight loss, but I mean, I'll take a calorie burn. It's no joke. When you get in there, oh God, this was Josh's first time doing it and it was fucking hilarious. He didn't have underwear on and the lady was like, you have underwear on, right? He's like, no. So he got out and like he was like, that was awful. It was blowing up that towel the whole time.
Did he yell no shrink?
No shrink.
No shrink.
I don't know. I mean, we like left the appointment and like 20 minutes had passed and he's like, my balls are still not in the right place. I was like, sorry.
Yes.
So accomplished.
As we wrap this up, one of the things I love to hear you talk about is your community and what you're doing, and it's continuing to grow, I'm sure. For the women out there that watch this, how can they get a hold of you? What's the value of being in the community, and what does that look like?
So you can get a hold of me. I'm on my phone all day long. My email is hello@caroline.fit. But if you go to my link tree, you guys have had that scrolling the whole time. My link tree basically is that, and you can go to that and contact me any of those ways. Our community is so incredibly different, and I pride myself on the fact that it is so, what's the word? Not, it's not like anything else everybody's doing. We take a look at your entire life as a whole, and we also take a look at your health as an entire whole. So it's not macros and workouts, it's macros, workouts, accountability, support, sleep, hormone testing, all of it, because all of those things play a role. And to tie this back around, make it full circle with that video we were talking about, this is why I get very worked up about influencers who have these fancy videographers that they look fantastic. Their videos are phenomenally, shot, and they're great and they're wonderfully and aesthetically pleasing, but you're not helping anyone, in my opinion.
Right.
People want to change, and when they're on there and they're ready to make a change, they want help. And that's where I was for years. And I hired some amazing coaches, but I felt like in the coaching space, no one was doing what we're doing now at CWC. It was either, well, I can go to this coach and get macros and diet and workouts, and I can do that and check in with them. But ultimately, what happens if I don't make progress? Well, so if you aren't making progress, you have to look at some other things. Okay, what's your stress level like? Are you getting 4 hours of sleep every night? How are your hormones? Is your thyroid functioning properly? Like, there's so many layers to this that no one that I know really addresses all of those layers. It's basically like, well, I've been working with this coach and I'm just not making progress, and she doesn't seem to care. And it's like, she doesn't even respond to my check-ins. Like, those are the things that we hear. And they come to us and they're desperate and they want change, and we can give it to them. So ultimately, that's what we do with the one-on-one coaching. The community on Facebook is free. If you can't afford it right now, or you for whatever reason are waiting to sign up and you just want to get in there and start learning stuff, there is so much free content, recipes, support. You join the Facebook group today, like you will be welcomed in as a family. It's your community. You can post whatever you want, obviously within reason, but like ask questions. Hey, I'm doing this. What should I do? And you will get tons of comments with women just wanting to help you and support you. And that is unlike anything I've ever known to exist. But back to what you were saying, like website, if anyone wants to go and just take a look a little bit more about what we're about, caroline.fit is the website, and you can actually sign up from there as well. Our 90-day challenge is getting ready to wrap up at the end of May, and then we start a brand new one in June. So,
by the way, I love that Rich Villar threw in Tiger Beat magazine.
Tiger Beat.
Hashtag Tiger Beat. That was probably one of them. You know, we do badmouth social media for what kids see, and I did that a little bit, but those magazines such as that, or MTV back in the day, literally we watched the same stuff and we were motivated by what we saw. But now it just seems it's still there, but it feels like it obviously changes and it's a faster pace and it's in our face quicker. And, you know, that's why Wes struggles. So, you know,
well, yeah, it's different to go to school and go home and turn on the TV to watch TRL live than to have literally an internet in your pocket all day.
Yeah.
And if you have multiple social media platforms now, like it ain't just Facebook anymore. It's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. There's days where I want to quit all of it because I'm like, I can't stand having to post. Like running a business and having to post on social media was hard enough. Now that there's like 900 gajillion platforms that you have to post separately on, it's a full-time job. And sometimes it's just exhausting. And then you're like, when you get way into it, you're like, why am I doing this? It is so tiring, but it's work. Should buy MTV and start showing videos again.
Well, I was getting, Caroline, are you on Twitter? Are you a Twitter person or no?
I've never been on Twitter. No, I just haven't.
Yeah.
Will you now?
No.
I don't know. I'm an image person. I like seeing pictures. I like the text. I understand. I like actually when you guys were talking about this at the beginning before I came on, and Eric was saying I use Twitter now more for like a news update. Totally, that's probably what I would use it for only because I'm so visual. I like looking at photos and videos, and I don't know. That's just I'd rather consume my information like that than just through like a text.
There's going to be changes, right?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly, you got any insight for us old guys on Machine Gun Kelly?
I actually made look what I wrote down whenever you guys were doing the intro. Wait. So I wrote Johnny Depp, smiley face, MJK or MGK, whatever his name is.
MGK.
With a brownie face, whatever. Yeah. So MGK, he's okay. I mean, he's not really my style. I don't want to say he's not my style. I don't know. He just doesn't really do it for me. He seems very like all over the place and not a huge, massive fan of his music. But again, that's a personal opinion. Some people love him. I don't know. And the Johnny Depp thing, I honestly think, and this is again just what I think about someone being like he's had all of his shit basically like laid out for everybody, the entire world to watch and see, which first of all, I can't even imagine if like all my fucking private text messages were like, no, seriously, like I like cringe thinking about that. I think anyone would, but I think it's really, and I could be wrong. I think it's good because I think people now want to see like real things. Maybe we are getting to see a little bit too much of his personal life, but it is what it is. And it's like when I watched the Elton John movie, I was never really a fan of Elton John ever. And when I watched the movie, I remember being like, wow, he like didn't hold back. He put every dark part of himself out there for the entire world to see. And I respect the fuck out of that because that's just like how I am. I want to see the real stuff. I don't have time anymore to get online and someone's trying to sell me something and they're trying to tell me about it a different way when I'm like, no, you're trying to sell me something, scrolling. Like I want to see someone's real life. I want to see something they're struggling with, how they overcame it. And so I think it's amazing. And I don't know, but that's again, like I've seen a bunch of TikToks. Women are kind of going nuts over the Johnny Depp thing. They are.
Let's wrap this show up. I think we need to get Machine Gun West back on here. Just so he can plug himself. Machine Gun West, you want to plug your fine directing ability here?
If anybody wants to follow me, just go to westwyatt.com, which is also .live. And if you want to do what we're doing, I'd be more than glad to help you.
What have you been doing? Like
awesome.
Gargling gravel today or something? Or
have I? Do I sound funny?
Gargling gravel.
Wow,
can they still find you on Whoops West Did It Again?
Oops, West did it again.
They may be able to. They may be able to. Yeah.
Well, Caroline, thank you for being on again. We love you. You are amazing. And
thank you.
As always.